This post is a little bit bent backwards, not perfectly level. So that's pretty much how you will Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is Tony's Tractor Adventure Homestead, and we're doing some homesteading today. I'm Tony and got Tanya behind the camera, and today we're going to show you how to properly put in a double gate so that it hangs level and matches in the middle. So we have a couple of interesting tools here. We have a laser level, and so you can do what we're getting ready to do with this laser level with a $5 string level that you can find at any hardware store. But since we already have this laser level, we're going to use it. So all we're going to need is 2 reference lines on both posts, so we know that they're exactly the same height on both posts. So let's get that done. Okay. So now we have 2 new marks right here and on that post over there that we know that these are the exact same level on both sides. So we'll measure everything that we do off of these 2 marks on either post, because the end game is we want both of the gates to meet in the middle. We want the gates to be level, and we want the gates to be not only level to themselves but meet in the middle and match exactly the same height on both gates. So this gate has wire on the outside, and so therefore, depending on if you have double gates, obviously one of them will have the hinges on the wrong end.
This will be a good day to fly a kite.
Yeah, we got 2 of them in the house.
I know.
Somebody that's going to sharp shoot me a little bit, and they're going to go, well, why is it so important to get this right? And because both of these hinges are available to be moved up and down, and that is a true point on this particular gate set. But there are some gates that you buy and they're left and or they're not left and right, they're just there's nothing in the middle here, so the bottom hinge is welded on, and in those cases you just got, the only way you can get it right is to make sure that the bottom 2 hinges are right. So what I'm going to do is, the other gate is 4.5 inches up. So I'll go ahead and pop this on. I'll put my bolt through, get it started. Should be pretty close right here.
Ooh, there you are, bud. I'm sorry.
I'll say 4.5 inches right there.
I didn't see you standing behind me. I'm sorry.
Tighten this down a little bit, and then we'll snug it up, and then we'll move it in the right place. I really need to have a better set of tools with me, but all I grab is this pressing wrench. This is a 20-foot opening, and we got 2 10-foot gates, and basically the reason we're starting on this side is that the gravel is downhill. So this is the shallowest point, if you will, or this is the largest drop off. So these are the pins they're going to be putting in, and this is the flat portion that the hinge of the gate sets on. So all measurements will be made from this point right here, and then like you'll have to take into account that the bolt is actually offset from that. It's a 1/2 inch bolt, so you're roughly just say a 1/4 inch down from this mark right here. So if the gate is 4.5 inches to the bottom, that means that this bolt hole needs to be 4.25 inches from wherever the bottom of the gate is going to be. We're going to leave ourselves, we're probably going to have a little bit more gravel come in, so we're going to go ahead and leave us another, we'll probably go ahead and leave us a couple more inches at least. So before we mount our gate up here, let's talk a little bit about the post. Now, back in the summer we built this fence knowing that we're going to put gates on it. So these are gate posts. They're longer posts than a normal post. They're in the ground right here, approximately 3.5 to 4 foot deep. And then we use fast 2K to anchor our post in the ground. This post set in the ground, and we went ahead and put a level on this one. We're really going to make this one perfect because these two ends are going to be gate posts, so they really need to be pretty square to each other and also very, very level. And we've already had good results from our gate prior that we've done, and I don't expect any difference with this. Where do you want to put the gate? How tall are you? Gizmo is this tall, and so we got to make sure you can't get under that gate. I don't think he's going to get too far past the biscuits, I'm telling you. Chicken, as long as the chicken strips keep flowing, he's going to stay behind the fence.
I think so too.
All right, so 4 1/4 up from the lowest point that we want our gate. So let's consider our gate. We're going to add a little bit of gravel. So we'll take this, it's 4 1/4 to the center. Okay, it's plenty deep enough. So we got that in. It's deep enough that it's all the way for the threaded portion, but it's not so deep that it's going to come out the other side. I don't want to come out the other side. Some gate posts will have a threaded, like an all thread rod on it, and you will go all the way through and put a nut and washer on the other side. So we don't have that, so I don't want to go all the way through. We'll go ahead and mount this particular hinge in, and then we'll be right back with you. All right, so you can see here I've got this hinge pin in, and there's my actual loop that'll set over that. So we're just going to go ahead and put this at, we'll do 35. So 35, it's what we're aiming for, which is the flats portion. So we got to take off 1/4 inch to get to the center of this. So it would be 34 3/4. Again, this is not rocket science accurate, but you want it to be pretty close. There's a lot of adjustment points on a gate. So we're gonna go to the flat portion, and we're gonna go to 34 3/4. So this is just a bit I had handy, so I grabbed this way overkill. When you're putting the bit in, you definitely want to keep the bit as level as you can this way, and then plumb as you can this way. Again, gates are pretty forgiving; they're not exact, so. All right, that's good enough. Now we're going to put the next hinge in. There's a piece of metal on that one. Just a 3/4 inch wrench will do a lot of good here. It's easy to work with. You got some really good neighbors around here. You can get close with getting level, with the gate getting level, by taking your level here and putting it on the 2 pins. So this one needs to go in a little bit further. And obviously you can only do it at 1 turn at a time. And you can see this gate right here, this bolt just deformed. It was bent from the factory, it aimed out. So we're gonna have to get it screwed in and then hit it with a sledgehammer. Just now notice that this particular bolt has got a bend to it. The other one doesn't. It's a good starting point. Yeah, we're pretty much perfectly level there. So it's a good starting point. I will whoop on that with a sledgehammer though. Be right back. All right, so we're going to put the hinge back on this side on top, and we'll just put the bolt through and let it be fairly loose. We don't want this one tight yet. Let's get it started. So my lovely assistant is going to help me do this. And all we're going to do is hang the bottom. I'm going to take this hinge and get out of the way. We'll hang the bottom first, and then we're going to put the top one in place. Raise your end up a little bit. All right, so it's just a little, we're going to tighten that down a little bit more. All right, raise your end up a little bit more. Needed to bring a wrench. Should have brought a wrench, but we got what we got. My buddy Hank will be extremely proud of me. All right, raise up a little more. Bump it. Okay. So make sure that it's seated. Probably better if I was on the other side with a boat. Okay.
Good doggy.
Let's take the level. Now, because of what we did, this particular gate should be somewhat level. That's assuming that the gate is somewhat level. And by golly, that's pretty doggone close. The bubble is in between the bevel of the level is in between the two marks. So the bubble's right on. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's pretty doggone close. And that's just by doing it that way I just showed you. So now we have to do the other gate, and the key to doing the other gate is both of these gates must be exactly at the same height here and level, or it'll look off. It'll always look weird. So there you go. We're going to go back to our original mark, and we're going to 25.5 inches down from our original mark is where we need to put the first screw on that side. That's why these marks on both sides are so important. You have your reference point to measure from. So now I know I got to go, because the ground's not level. The only thing I have as a reference point are these where we put the laser level. So I'm going to go again and double check the measurement. 25.5. The way I've got the level, the way I've got the tape measure, I'm setting on top of the boat, and the boat is a 1/2 inch diameter, so I have to take a quarter. To get to the center of the boat, you have to add another 1/4 inch. So it's actually 25.25, so I'm adding the quarter, so it's 25.5. Hope that made sense. So that's 25.5 right there. That means I need to put the center. Now you see how high that is on that side, and then you see how high it is on this side. That's how much we're going to have to bring in the gravel this way. Yeah, that's going to just the way it is. The way the cookie crumbles.
You make lemon juice out of lemons.
That's right. Make lemon juice out of lemon. That's right. I need to get a bigger drill bit. This is the flat portion of the pin. The next pin is going to be 34 3/4. It's supposed to be 35, but we got to take away the count for the bolt thickness. So 34 3/4. So we'll just go ahead and pull that on the tape measure. And you'll see this will really show how unlevel this is. We'll probably move some dirt in to level it up. So 34 3/4. All right. There's me a mark. That mark. So we just tightened up our last pin here, and we'll go ahead and put our level on it. We've been checking it as we went along, and this post is a little bit bent backwards, not perfectly level, and that's okay. Nothing perfect in wood, and this is not perfect by any means. but I think it's going to be pretty close. So bubble's pretty close to on. We could get lucky. We've done most of the measurements right. Okay, gotta go up higher. We've done most of the measurements pretty precise, and maybe we'll just get lucky, or maybe I mismeasured something. Either way, it's gonna be interesting. Whew.
That is so close.
Yeah.
I think this is in the way.
No, we're right in.
No, that's good before we come in more.
No, we're on point. I think I need to turn this one in one more turn. I was thinking that was going to be the case. I think we're going to be pretty much right on point. So this is a little closer at the top than it is at the bottom. So I think yep. So we're going to turn that one in one more turn. So what we're going to have to do is take this gate off and just set it down.
I got it.
Okay, we're going to make one more turn. What that's doing is pulling the top in but keeping the bottom the same. It's a little harder now because we got to set them both right on the same time. Okay?
Yay!
Look at that. Now you can't get no closer than that.
Nope.
So when we do get a gate opener, we'll have to like weld a little piece of metal on the back of one of them so when they come together that they touch.
Yep.
I think we need to go in, we're just a little too tight. I think we need to go in one turn on both of those screws and then one more turn on both of these screws to pull the gates apart. I think
it's good the way it is.
no, it's dragging. I don't want them to touch. So when we put the gate opener on, they really can't touch.
Woo!
All right, ready? Your end's gotta come up. All right. That's pretty next level right there. We're gonna do a little bit of dirt work here so that and move some gravel in and give you a better look at it when it's all completed. What they call them, gate mules, put on either side, automatic openers. That'll get these locked in and be more stable. Like I say, we're gonna put some more dirt here, so you guys hang with us to the end of the video. This will look great. Okay, just like that, we went ahead and put a little bit of, we pulled all the rock away, built this up with real heavy clay, and then we put the rock back over it. It's gonna settle quite a bit over the winter, and then after, come spring, we'll probably get another load of gravel in here and raise this up about 3 inches and make up any difference as this settles. But I'm happy with it. I think the gate looks good. Now we gotta get some door openers because I have to keep getting out and unmoving these chains. Listen, appreciate you watching our channel. If you would, please subscribe. God bless, have a great day.